We're in love. We're in love. To answer your question about the headline, and this is headlines with Robert Littal, of course, black people are treated differently in the media than white people. That's not just in sports, that's in life. If a black person is killed by the cops, they'll talk about the time he was arrested for weed in 1976. But if a white person goes on a mass shooting spree, you'll see photos with him and his dog and interviews with the neighbors saying how what a great family man he was, and they just can't believe that this is happening. So this is not new. But the question is out there: is Ime Udoka and Joe Mazzulla, are they being treated fairly by sports media in comparison to, say, Brett Favre? There's something that you need to know about media and what goes into making a show. There's two parts of it that I think is very important. So when you're doing your criticisms on social media, right, of certain analysts, commentators, hosts, you need to know this in advance. The first thing is this: similar to a football game or a basketball game, media has practice. We're talking about practice. And what I mean by that is before the show even starts, they talk about what they're going to say, what is scripted, what is non scripted. That's very important because a lot of the things that you see that are making you upset are scripted, and they may be scripted by a white producer or a white showrunner. And then in turn, they have a black person go out and say it. And therefore, that black person is the one that gets the heat, but they're just doing what their job is telling them to do because they don't want to get fired. They don't want to lose their six-figure salary. So they go out there and say what they're told to say. Now, secondly, similar to a football game and basketball or baseball, sometimes you're calling audible. Now, that's when a discussion takes place and it goes off script. Now, when it goes off script, that's when you see someone's true colors, how they truly feel about certain situations. You have to have a keen eye and a keen ear to watch for that, because when it goes off script, facial expressions don't lie. That kind of gives you some insight on who likes who really thinks what their feelings are about black men, about white men, about society, their political affiliations. You just have to really, really pay attention to that. Now, I will say this: one issue, a major issue that's in society and that's in sports media as a whole is this: black people, specifically black men, have an issue to where whatever mistakes they've made in life, they're not allowed to have them, because for whatever reasons, the opportunities are less for black people if they ever make any mistake in life. Now, as we know, you can't go through life without making some mistakes. So what ends up happening is those mistakes are magnified when they do get an opportunity. And let me tell you what the difference is. Let's take, for instance, Peyton Manning, right? Peyton Manning was credibly sued and accused of some really bad things in college. But you never, ever hear about that when Peyton Manning gets a new job or a new opportunity or anything like that. No one says, hey, Peyton Manning is going to be, you know, uh, handling Monday Night Football. But I would be remiss to remind you that he once put his ass cheeks in somebody's face at Tennessee. You never hear that. You never hear that. You take someone like Craig Carton or Carton, radio personality. He defrauded people of almost $5 million in a scam. Went to jail. As soon as he got out of jail, he got his job back. And no one says, Craig Carton is on at noon and he's going to be talking about this. But I'll be remiss to say that he scammed people out of $5 million. Lastly, let's think about Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer was potentially one of the worst coaching hires in NFL history. Urban Meyer has done several questionable things over his career, going all the way back to when he was coaching Florida, with Utah, several. It's not just one thing. It's not just getting twerked on at the bar by someone that, he worked with. It goes back several decades, but he just gets his job back at Fox Sports, and no one ever says, hey, we're going to go to the coach, Urban Meyer, with his halftime report of what he thinks about what's going on between Ohio State and Wisconsin. But we've been remiss to say that, he got his twerk on at the bar when, he was supposed to be coaching his team and possibly covered up multiple murders at Florida. No one ever says that. Even with Brett Favre lately, you hear about the welfare scam. You know that he took money from the poor. You find out that his charity is bogus. But no one even brings up all the stuff that he did with the Jets. All of the things. When he went into the Hall of Fame, Brett Favre, no one ever brought up those accusations, those credible things that happened. You never heard one peep about that. So that's why at times people can be upset when someone like Joe Mazzulla gets an opportunity to coach the Celtics and it's brought up what he did 13 years ago while he was in college. It's not about that it shouldn't be brought up. It's not about that that's part of someone's story. The issue is consistency. Are we being fair to everyone? There's multiple people at ESPN that have checkered past. And every time that they come on a show, no one brings that up. You see what I'm saying? And that what makes you question the integrity of the people that are narrating these stories and the people that are in control of the opinions that the majority have about certain individuals. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Please follow, like, and subscribe. That's what they always do on these other videos. That's what they say you should do at the end. I'm out.